is ready, step into the floor. Bethesda's roaring echoes from the door. In the night they fire, they start to dance. Lasers, blades, chaos, they take the chance. Battle beats, lights ignite tonight. Feel the bass, lift the fight to fight. Electricize, light up destiny. King is down in this victory.
Why? Again, why? Talk to your boy. Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm here yet again to talk about Bethesda and the dumb moves that they make. So here we go. This first thing I have for you is the most frustrating part about all this, and this is why I chose to make this video to begin with, because I find it to be a little ridiculous and unfair. So let's look at this real quick. Okay, so this here shows a player got his account banned for having a floating base, and I find that a little crazy. If you've been playing this game for long enough, you've encountered many floating bases or the terrain glitch bases. I've run across many different kinds of bases. I've even went to a base where the guy had one of those vault doors, if you know what I mean, and each vault door led to room after room with display case filled with the perfectly preserved pies. He had a whole museum of I don't even know how many, because room after room, it was just pies. And I had gone through 5 or 6 rooms and had enough and had to get out of there. But in Fallout 76, there are various different kinds of bases. One of the most popular ones, and ones that I like personally, is a floating base. And recently that's come under controversy. And I don't know if the story is here that the guy submitted his base to the best build competition, and I think that's what got him banned. And a couple other people have run into this problem as well, and it seems like it's specific with the best build. Uploading your build to that gets you banned, or I don't know if being that and having people come to your base all the time is having them report you or what, but I mean, look at this, it's ridiculous. Now, I went and looked this up, as you can see here, and it's not a bannable offense, so I don't understand why the players have been getting banned for this. And this affects me personally because pretty much every single camp slot you can buy, I've bought because I enjoy building bases in this game, and the fact that players are starting to get banned for using the game's mechanics is a little ridiculous. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you some examples here of floating bases because I have quite a few. But I just want to speak on this really quick. The player that I showed you in that example, he actually did appeal his ban to Bethesda and got it lifted and got his account back, thankfully. But the fact that it even happened is a little ridiculous if you ask me. I mean, the floating base, if you don't know, is using the game's mechanics to build your base higher than it should be, therefore floating in the sky. Some people have built them really high up in the sky, above the sky barrier, which if you do that, cool. I haven't. Mine are just usually floating a little bit above the ground, but still, I find that a little ridiculous. I don't want to sit here every video after video, and just bash Bethesda because I actually really do like their games. I mean, Skyrim to me I consider is my favorite game of all time. Swords, magic, dragons, open world, sign me up. I'm all for it. And all of their Fallout stuff is amazing. The Fallout world in general is such a cool landscape that they've created, and I'm so excited that they have the TV show now, and they're starting to put effort into Fallout 76. That's cool. But thoroughly vet the stuff that you're doing before you do it. And when players figure out mechanics in your game, mechanics that are in your game, that you put in, that you didn't monitor, that you didn't notice, that someone was smart enough to figure out, don't ban them for that. Especially when they're joining something called Best Build to show off their base. Something that they thought was cool, like, hey, other people would like to see this. And then you come in and ban them. I don't think that that's right. Bethesda to me doesn't make sense. And I'm going to show you an example here. This is from Starfield. I started playing that game a little while back because I was excited. It's a Bethesda game, so it's going to be open world and it's space and all this. I thought I could live out my dreams of being Captain Harlow and become a space pirate and just steal ships and sell them for money. But I found out pretty quickly that that's not the case with that game. And it's pretty hard to come by money and stuff, so I was looking into exploits, and as you can see from this clip, this exploit is an under-the-map glitch that would allow you to get the chests that the NPC vendors have, and you could get stuff for free, basically, and sell it for money and make money. It was a glitch to make money. Bethesda patched it. It's a single-player game. It doesn't affect the game's economy. It literally only affects the single player, the person playing that game. So why patch that? It doesn't make sense to me. Because I'm going to show you another example right here. In this example, this is Skyrim, which has been out for God knows how long. And in this game, still, if I booted it up right now, I could go into Dawnstar and go to an NPC chest. No, Bethesda's notorious for NPC vendors. Their chests are hidden underground. So in Skyrim, in Dawnstar, the chest for the NPC vendor, the Khajiit, is still there to this day. I could boot up the game, go in there, and it's still there. So why, Starfield, go in and patch a glitch in single player? It doesn't make sense to me. And a lot of their stuff that they do doesn't make sense to me. Just the other week in the Atomic Shop, Bethesda added some new resource collector. I wasn't a part of this. Like, I wasn't playing during this time period, so I just saw a video about it and thought I'd give my 2 cents and just shake my head and laugh, because that's what I did when I heard this, because it's typical. This always happens with Bethesda games. So in Fallout 76, if you don't know, the Atomic Shop is the shop for the game where you go and you can buy unique items for your camp, your player, your guns, whatever. Well, last week they added a new resource collector, and it was supposed to collect, I believe, copper and waste acid or oil or something. And like one day into the game, players realized that it was collecting one and not the other, or none at all. So they immediately removed it out of the Atomic Shop, took it out of the game. Why put it in the game if you didn't test it at all? Why add it to the Atomic Shop if you don't know if it's going to work? I don't understand that. Enough of my yapping. I'm going to show you some examples of what floating bases are and kind of show off my bases a little bit and kind of voice a few of my concerns, because I'd say at least, all of my bases raise concern, but at least 2 of them, for separate reasons other than the floating glitch aspect, concern me as well. So let's dive into this real quick. This first clip is what I call my waterfall base. It's built in the newer biome, Skyline Valley. I found like a cool little pond, stacked on pond, stacked on pond. And I figured I'd build in that area, and why not build a floating base? And if you can see, my base is pretty much like built around a tree. But, this one is just one for concern, you know? It's another one of my floating bases. A good example of what's bannable material, basically, I guess. And I find it pretty concerning, you know? And what concerns me is stuff like this. Like, I built on top of the world. So my house is called the tippy top of the world. And it's honestly probably one of my favorite bases. So is that going to be in jeopardy? Am I going to have to keep worrying about my bases every time I come in, or if I'm going to get banned? It's kind of annoying. So then this next clip I'm going to play, this is my other base, and this is the other concern that I wanted to bring up. So if Homeboy got banned because he had a floating base, I'm not signing any of my bases up for best base, because I was always scared that something like this would happen. But as this base as an example, some of it's in the sky, all my vendors up there in the sky, But then when I drop down, I don't know if you noticed these stairs. Next to my stairs, I have a Mothman throne that when I sit in it, I glitch under the map. And under the map here, I've built an entire pyramid base. So, what's going to happen in the future if people start getting banned for floating bases? Because this base is a under the map terrain glitch base and floating altogether. This is the kind of stuff that bothers me because, like, I spent a lot of time figuring out how to do this and setting this up. I'm pretty, like, pleased that I built a pyramid under the map. That's awesome, you know? And I'm scared, like, I might get banned for this. That's annoying. I'd like to play the game and not have to worry about this kind of stuff. If I figure out something that's, unique or whatever, as long as I'm not glitching into a dev room, why does it matter? I'm not getting any ill-got gains from having this base, so I don't understand it. This last clip here is my cabin base. It's at the very bottom of the map in the Skyline Valley, and it's just a lone cabin by itself. But in the back, I built platforms and I set up like a little area to hide it. If you put a boxing thing right at the corner of the back, you can glitch inside of the building. So inside of the building, I set up like a nice little room. I've got a bed, a Mothman throne, even a piano, all kinds of stuff. And then on my front porch, I have like my vendors to sell. But in order to get out, like obviously you see here, you take the banjo and start to try to play that and it'll glitch you through the wall. But this base is another one where I'm like, should I even keep it anymore? Because not only can I glitch into that little room, outside here, if it'll show, I walk over, and if you look down, you see antique speed bag. I have an underground base here, which is actually pretty cool. There's floaters down here, and I shoot them. Crazy. I never thought I could be able to shoot them underground, or let alone see them underground like that, which is pretty dope. But I don't understand it, why the guy got banned for a floating base. And it raises huge concerns for me because I am an avid base builder, and I love building bases like this, where you can walk past it and not even know it's there. Like when I showed you that little speed bag thing, I knew it was there. So I walked over and looked down, and I knew that I would like get the prompt to go select it or whatever. No one walking by is going to notice that. I like building bases like that. And if that's going to get me banned, I don't know how much I'm going to play anymore, I'll be honest. With all that being said, I don't know where that takes us because I have a lot of unique bases. I myself I'm an avid base builder. But I personally, even knowing what the reward is, I believe the reward is like 40,000 atoms, which is insane if you win the best build competition or whatever. But I myself haven't joined it, even though part of the reason why I love that game is to build bases. But I haven't joined it because I was scared of something like this happening. And I'm glad that, like, no offense to the guy, but I'm glad it happened to someone else and not me. So now I know that my fears were justified. And I'm glad that the guy got his account back and all that. And it's like, no harm, no foul. But it's also pretty annoying that they can just willy-nilly throw that ban hammer and it is what it is. I mean, obviously the guy had a process, he could repeal it and got his account back, but it's just annoying that he had to even do that to begin with. So I don't know where that leaves me for the future with Bethesda, but it's really annoying. If I could say one thing to Bethesda, I would say when you make something, before you release it, thoroughly vet it out and make sure that it works. Because like that item the other week that got added to the shop, didn't collect the resources it was supposed to, and then you removed it that very same day, I'm concerned as to what's going to happen in the future when you release the ghoul option. Because if you play the game, you'll know this, but if you don't play the game, I think pretty soon they're going to add an option to become a ghoul and play as a ghoul, which I think will be awesome. I built a second character to play as a ghoul when I found out they were going to do this. But knowing all this stuff and how willy-nilly they are with throwing that ban hammer at people, and how when they release something, it doesn't work, and if the glitch does anything, they might ban you because of it. it's kind of annoying, and it makes me wonder if the ghoul thing's even going to work, because I'm hearing there's going to be unique perk cards and all kinds of stuff for it. So I guess we'll see. To wrap things up, I just have to say, I don't hate Bethesda. I really like your games. I enjoy them, but the stuff that's been going on for a while, like ever since I first started playing Fallout 76 until now, it's frustrating. And sometimes it makes me want to not play the game. Because the game you have to dedicate time to. It's a little grindy. You have to put hours in to get the things that you want out of it. And me personally, to achieve the goals that I want to in the game, it's going to take time. And I don't know if I want to put that time in anymore. The game is making it more and more less tantalizing of an option. So I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm glad the guy got his account back, and I'm just going to have to keep a lookout for my own bases and see what's up. Hopefully I don't get banned. I don't think I will. I'm not submitting to Best Build anytime soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya!
In neon haze, Kingslayer strikes, his mustache a legend, far and wide. Through rhythmic nights, shadows abide, worlds collide, beneath his pride. The Kingslayer reigns, mustache gleams, electronic dreams, in midnight beams, in this realm of light, future